While we're all celebrating the victory of bringing Hextech chests back, I have a different opinion. Riot Games just did one of their fastest reversals, bringing back Hextech chests in record time. As someone who's worked as a metagame designer, I know that these decisions don't take a couple days to make, be it removing the chests or bringing them back. So I feel like something's up. Let's discuss. So yeah, just a quick recap. A couple days ago, Riot removed the chests. Players were not happy. They showed it in a very unified and definitive way. And then they brought the chests back and also improved some of their quantities. But here's a question. Riot Games is acting like they're listening to feedback, but I feel like something's fishy. I have worked in game development, and I have also worked as a metagame designer. Even though I was not good at it, I still know how the process goes. Every decision needs calculations, formulas, and reasons for why that is so. So I cannot imagine Riot, such a big company, making such a horrible decision and not knowing the reaction that was going to follow. So my question is, 1. How did they not expect this? And 2, if they did not expect it, why did they backpedal so fast? Who's really making these decisions? If you remember, like earlier changes, be it like Chemtech Drake or Event Pass stuff or Mythic Essence changes, they never reversed their decisions so fast. They always took a couple months, looked at the data, and then acted on it. Yes, I understand that the reaction from the community was too big for them to ignore, but I feel like it's not, let's say, Riot's way of handling problems. So, as a former metagame designer, I know that the systems that they use for monetizations mainly revolve around the fear of missing out. They revolve around engagement loops and like controlled scarcity. So the skins are rare and the player wants to get them. But when it comes to chests, it's a way of rewarding players. I talked about this in my earlier video as well, that the free players are already creating value for the company by filling in the matches for the paid players to play in. So by you being a free-to-play guy, you're already creating an environment which they can monetize. So making a change that's against free-to-play players would have been horrible. And I cannot imagine them not expecting this. Because every decision that a middle-sized game dev studio makes already goes through a lot of hoops like calculations, formulas, different reasoning, understanding what the player will think about it. And could you imagine that Riot would not be able to foresee any of this? Removing one of the only mechanics they have to reward the free-to-play player. It sounds too fishy and I cannot believe it. I feel like either there's a massive point of incompetency somewhere, or this is all just done deliberately to create attention or to cover up something even bigger. But we don't even know what that is. For me, it just feels too strange, even though you might say that they did this because the player outrage was too big. It still sounds so strange. You remember the Jinx Gacha skin? Yeah, that also had some controversy, but Riot didn't act on it at all. It still pops up whenever you go into the crafting menu, even though now it's the Z skin and the Z skin. Yes, they addressed it that they will remove it, but they didn't act on it so fast. So what really sparked all of this? Riot has mostly faced controversy whenever they make any changes. So why act so fast? I don't know. I don't have an answer, honestly. I just think that something's fishy, and I want you guys to discuss it in the comments. So yeah, that was kind of my point that I wanted to mention. Like, as a game designer, I know how these things are done, and I just cannot imagine them making a mistake of this big of a scale. So that's why it sounds so strange. Anyways, goodbye, and I'll see you next time.